Yes, welcome on into this special emergency edition of Locked On Auburn. I'm Zach Blackerby. He is Auburn message board legend and host of the Top Button podcast, the Charlie5. Tavaris Dice, the offensive lineman, commits to the Auburn Tigers, and this is huge for several different reasons. Charlie5, one, he is huge, plays offensive line, of need. But you and I talked about this earlier in the week, like the timing of this. Auburn needed some momentum, and this is a great way to kind of get that going with Tavaris Dice.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I think his plan may have been to commit a little bit later in the month. And I think Auburn really needed to grab a little momentum, needed to change the so-called narrative, even if the narrative was overblown maybe by me. But still,
I'm there with you. Yeah.
Huge ad. And here's another thing. Your last two commitments, where are they from, Zach? A-town, Atlanta,
Georgia.
Just fresh off hiring Kenyatta Watson. Coincidence? I don't know. But regardless, it's a big deal. You need I can't remember the last, a four-star offensive tackle from Atlanta, Langston Hughes. He's got a four-star teammate on the offensive line tweeting about it. Just in general, picking things up in Atlanta is massive.
I think so. Yeah. I'm so glad that you bring up Kenyatta Watson because, you championed him pretty early on, like immediately after he was hired. And so far, that's been great. 6'6", 275, you take it. There's some folks that think he's a guard, not a tackle. I don't care. We need offensive linemen, and this is a guy that we wanted. And also, from an optics standpoint, like, from a recruiting, I said this throughout the week, like perception's not everything, but it is a lot when it comes to recruiting. And Auburn has been the favorite for this guy for a long time. And I think it would have looked really bad if Auburn wasn't able to get him. So the fact that they finally got that stamp, okay, he is committed to Auburn. We can now kind of pivot and look elsewhere. I think that's huge. I think that's big. And, this is a big weekend as well, Charlie5.
Huge weekend. You got a laundry list of stars, highly recruited guys, highly ranked guys. And this is a great way to kick it off. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's not the last commitment this weekend. We may see more this weekend. I don't have a specific name yet. We're just kind of told, hey, be on the lookout. So you got some big time guys that are right there on the edge. You got another offensive lineman that's a high 4-star that you're pushing for from Mobile, Carday Smith that could be jumping in the boat soon. So hopefully you had your little week off that for spring break, and then immediately after that's off, you start lining up visit after visit after visit. Hopefully we can get a little bit of momentum going and seize back. It's hard not to feel a little negative when you're losing recruits. Hey, we're back. We're back to net zero on
since January 1st. Yeah.
January 1st, which is good. So still, when you look at number of commits, I think we're still towards the top of the SEC as far as number of commits. So we're ahead of the game, and hopefully we'll keep reeling off a few more this month.
Yeah, it's just, obviously you hate the guys that you lost, or you hate that you lost them. I'm sure we still love them. But I want to talk about just the positional value of Tavaris Dice, because we went through a plague, an epidemic of the inability to recruit high school offensive linemen. And so anytime we get a guy like this, I don't think we can just take it lightly. I know things have changed since Hugh Freeze has been here, and there's, the offensive line success has trended up since he's been here, but I just don't think we can take this lightly. The fact that Auburn went into Langston Hughes, a very impressive program, that a pipeline is beginning to form there more and more each year, it seems like.
Yeah.
But just going out to get a guy like him, we just haven't, over the last decade, Charlie5, we haven't gotten a whole lot of guys like this.
No, you had, you flipped Tyler Johnston late. I think he was sort of like one of those borderline four-star recruits, but this is a guy that's, up in the top 250 as far as rankings goes. He's very highly recruited, a lot of big time offers. And I think Brian has said it off your show, and then Cole Pinkston has said it. Physically, this guy is incredibly impressive already as an 17 or 18-year-old kid. So just in general, breaking the dry spell of commits in general, and then starting to pick up some steam on the offensive line, the trenches, feels good. Feels good.
Yeah. What do you think the conversation was between the staff, whether it was Hugh Freeze, whether it was offensive lineman Coach Thornton, talking to Tavaris Dice? But do you think they put a little bit more pressure of like, we really need you to commit?
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. We're 100% in on you. It seems like you want to be here. Like, if you want to be here and you think there's a chance to be here, you need to commit now so we get you better teammates around you.
Yeah, the timing makes it seem like, and the fact that I don't think he was even scheduled to visit today. And then all of a sudden he's visiting today and he's committing. Again, I think it was, hey, you got to be cognizant of what's going on across the state. Hey, we lose some commitments. They're gaining some commitments. This is one we feel good about. Whatever we got to do, let's go ahead and get this one to pop and like get the ball rolling for sure. I think that was, hey, Tavaris, we love you. We need you. Let's go ahead and flip this script and get it rolling the right way. And you'll help continue to build this class and snowball it from there. So especially right before a big weekend, that gets everybody pumped up. Hey, we got a 4-star lineman commitment like that. And all these people are coming in. You got a 5-star quarterback coming in. Like that's got to make him feel good that you got you're going to have a 4-star bookend, possible left, right tackle in front of you. It's going to be a couple of years older than you, already developing. It's got to feel good.
Yeah, Tavaris Dice. So he's a 4-star across the board, except for on 3. On 3. They have him as a 3-star. But outside of that, he's a 4-star. Everywhere else, consensus, with the exception of on 3, consensus top 30 offensive tackle in the class. The industry composite has him as the 22nd offensive tackle in the class. It's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. I mean, we need a bunch of those guys, and adding Dice to that, I think, is kind of the next step, which is huge. So I just don't want this to kind of be swept under the rug. This is a big deal. And look, we've been critical. We were critical on the Tuesday edition of Locked On Auburn. You were critical to some extent on the top button earlier this week. And if we're gonna nitpick when bad stuff happens, we're gonna celebrate when good stuff happens. We're gonna be fair. And this is a big deal. So
huge.
Hats off to the staff for making it happen.
Yep, you got it. You had to get a commitment. You needed it. You went ahead and you locked it in. You got it. And I don't think we're done for the weekend.
Ooh, I hope not. I hope we're not done. Charlie5, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
Absolutely. Find me on the Twitter, _Charlie_5, or every Tuesday and Thursday on the Top Button podcast.
Yep. Please like the video. Please subscribe. We will see you tomorrow. This has been Locked On Auburn.